Hello, dear viewers. How are you all? I hope you have seen our previous videos, and we are again back with a new video on GDPI Demystified. The topic of this video is how to prepare for a VAT and how to write an SOP. To explain this, we today have a very special guest with us. And
Yeah,
Piyush, over to you to please introduce our guest to our esteemed viewers.
sure. As Satya mentioned, he is a very special person and he has been my mentor, one of my mentors during my preparation days as well. He's a very well-known person in the VARC and in fact cat coaching fraternity in general. So please welcome Brijesh sir.
Thanks, Piyush, for inviting me for such a great session. And I thank Satyam as well. So now coming to this question here, I will take it in two parts. The first thing is SOP, because right now I think the calls of the old IMs are coming out. And I think almost everywhere there is this demand of SOP. The students have to write a good SOP. There is no word limit, but good SOP will take at least around 400 to 500 words minimum. Now, many people don't have proper understanding of what exactly the SOP means. So the full form of SOP is statement of purpose. So that means you are going to a B school and you want to do MBA. That is the purpose that you're applying to that college. So to me, for a person like me, SOP means why MBA in short. So the answer as to why do you want to do MBA is basically the content of your SOP. Now, the difference is that in SOP, you not just say why MBA, but you write the entire story as to what was the motivation for doing MBA and why this college, what will you get from this college, and subsequently, what will happen once you graduate from this college. So basically, we are going in three time zones. The past, which becomes the motivation behind MBA, then why this college? Very important. If you're writing an SOP for IIM Bangalore, then you have to be very, very clear as to why IIM Bangalore. And then after that, you have to say what will happen in the long run if you get an MBA from IIM Bangalore. So the past, the present, and the future. They all the three have to be encompassed in the SOP, and you have to stick only to this. The mistake that people often make is that they spend too much time in writing the background of the story. So too much of the past, not good. Too much of the future is also not good. If you are writing the SOP, I would say 1/3 of the past, then 1/3 as to the reasons why you want to go to this particular college, and the rest 1/3 should be what is your long-term goal and how will this college help you achieve that long-term goal. So 1/3 past, 1/3 present, and 1/3 future. This is what a good SOP is all about. So the primary thing is you have to answer why MBA in a very beautiful and convincing way. This is what it basically is.
Sure, sir. Thanks for the clarification. And just a follow-up question. And during my preparation time, also, many of the students face this dilemma that I found that most of us do not spend enough time to write our SOP, right? So, how much time should do you think one should devote to write a correct SOP, so to say, and how many times it should be revised, etc. Could you throw some light on that as
Right.
well?
Sure. So that's a very, very good question. Now, the amount of time would vary from person to person. I'll give an example. Suppose there is a student who is having work ex of 3 years in a very, very good firm and is into already some sort of managerial role. For him, writing an SOP is a very, very easy task because he already has his reasons and he's convinced about the reasons behind doing MBA. So what he should do is that he should focus on basically wording his answer. That should be the focus, how to word the answer, how to cut it to size so that it looks presentable. But someone who is, let's say, in college and is in final year, for him, it becomes a bit difficult to come up with very concrete reasons as to why he wants to do MBA. That person will need to devote more time in doing proper research. For example, he should go through lots of articles and see that why should a fresher do it? The reasons behind why a fresher should go for an MBA, what kind of company. So he has to basically do some sort of soul searching. So he will take more time. So I think that in my case, I tell students that you should spend a good amount of time doing research on that. How is MBA beneficial to a fresher? Is it really beneficial? And if yes, then how? So once he does all this research, he starts getting the content that suits him. The mistake that people make is they think that why MBA answer would be given by someone to them. And this is where the manufacturing or the fabricating of the answer starts. This is not good at all. Because when you take answer from someone, it is not your answer. So there is no conviction from deep within. But when you start searching for the answer on your own, you start questioning yourself, why am I doing this? You will take some time, but the answer will definitely come. And any sort of cross questioning on that answer would be tackled by you effectively in the interview. But if it is given to you by someone, and if there is a slightest amount of cross questioning here and there, you may not be able to justify or tackle those cross questionings. So my suggestion is that if you are fresh and without any work experience right out of college, spend around 2 3 days studying, reading, going through blogs, and going through articles of newspaper, or going through some sort of thing that convinces you that why and why what are the reasons that a fresher should do an MBA from a specific college. So this is how it should be.
Definitely, that helps a lot, and I think our viewers will take advantage of that. Now, quickly,
Correct.
sir, if we come back to the original question about WAT, how and exactly? First of all, many people are not yet. I do hear from many of the aspirants like, why do we need to even write a WAT? So, if you could quickly throw some light on why is WAT required by B school, and then maybe how to structure a WAT and in less than 10 or 15 minutes.
When I was a classroom teacher, I always wondered that why should we have group discussions? Because I found group discussions completely beside the point. Because in group discussions, the one who yells the most gets the maximum attention. So when the IMs way back in 2013 or 2012, when they replaced group discussions with VAT, I was very happy because in VAT, when you write VAT, it gives an impression about what is your clarity of thought, how well you're able to express yourself, how pointed are your ideas, and how logical are your arguments. In group discussions, so I will contrast these two so that you get a better understanding of why VAT is better than GD. In group discussions, you might copy someone else's idea, just put it in the right accent, in the right language, and you might get away. You sometimes might even get good points. But in writing ability test, when you write something, when you put something on paper, it becomes an evidence of your merit. So if you make mistakes, if your thought flow is not correct, it is pretty much evident on the paper on which you have put your VAT. So when I get VATs from my students, every VAT is different. The topic might be very simple, something as simple as, let's say, hard work makes success possible. So this is a very simple topic. But every student, when he writes on that simple topic, he gives some sort of view of his inner workings of the mind. The way he frames his ideas, the way he does the paragraphing, the way he frames his sentences, the coherence of those sentences, the style of writing. All this gives you a glimpse of of the working of his mind. So what we look for, and what we try to find in the student through VAT is whether he is able to express himself in a very simple and straightforward language without any sort of pretense. Secondly, whether he is able to frame his ideas coherently in the right structure. So I feel that someone who is able to present his ideas coherently is also always a very clean and clear thinker in comparison to someone who is very much haphazard and abrupt. So more than the content, of course, the content is very important, no doubt about it. But there are many instances in which the content is just not there. It's so generic. Or sometimes you might have some sort of VAT in which argument is given that you are planning a picnic, and how would you plan the entire trip, and what kind of articles will you carry? Can you please write an essay on that? So people will have to do this kind of a thing. So there are two components to writing ability. One is the content, which is very important in essays which are technical. For example, if there is, let's say, a WAT on climate change, without the content, I think none of us would be able to express, no matter how good our language is. On the other hand, there are very generic WATs, as something as simple as how should India control population, or let's say time and tide waits for no man, something like this. So something on which anyone can write. So there is content part of it and there is presentation part of it. They both are equally important. The presentation shows how good a thinker you are, how well you present your ideas, and the content shows that how well read you are. So they both get weightage. But again, I'm telling you, content without presentation is of no use. And presentation without content is not possible. So they both have to be there. That's why when you start your WAT, you have to organize your thoughts immediately. Because within 500 to 600 words, you have to present the entire topic. So if you don't know how to, use the resources within that 15, 20 minute or half an hour, you might not be able to impress the invigilator or the interviewer. So WAT is, I think, primarily about taking that small amount of time and presenting your ideas in the most convincing manner.
Yeah.
Simple manner.
Well, thank you very much, sir, for the clarity on that topic as well. And I think our viewers will get much more idea from this. And of course, you guys feel free to join the Telegram link given below in the description. You can contact us and we'll be happy to help you out with more such practice sessions on WAT as well. So this was pretty much it from our side for this video. Thank you, Brijesh, sir, for bringing out and throwing some light on the topic, and I'll hope to see you guys soon. Take care.
Thanks, Piyush, and thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.